Yo, what's up, man? Welcome to my first ever completed Pokemon Nuzlocke. We will be starting from Gens 1 and going through Gen 6, maybe later, but this is the complete start. And I know what you're thinking, man. Select K, how do you think you're gonna do this? Now, trust me, I'm thinking the exact same thing as you. As being a person who's constantly failed at these challenges, I am kind of curious how it's going to go. I have full confidence in myself, but I know I'm definitely going to lose some Pokemons along the way. If you don't know what a Nuzlocke is, here are the rules. If a Pokemon faints, it is considered dead and cannot be used in battle again. Only the first Pokemon encountered in each new area may be caught, Giftmons included. All Pokemon must be nicknamed, no legendaries or mythicals may be used in battle. Now without further ado, let's get into it. I start off the game by naming myself my name, and I go ahead and name that boy your rival, just something quick. I tried to go off and go adventure on my own, but somebody had to stop me, so I had to go back to his lab where he lured me, and I chose Squirtle as the first starter Pokemon I used. The first nickname I give him is Oma. Like, oh my god, you get it? Like Oma. But yeah, it was just something quick and easy. Go ahead and this guy, your rival, goes ahead and takes the counterpart to you and takes Bulbasaur. We're having this huge battle for the ages, and he comes out here and he hits a crit on me. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna lose this, and I went ahead and lost. So you know what I did? I had to restart. So I grabbed Squirtle once again because I knew that's the Pokemon I really wanted, and went ahead and named him Dell this time. I took no chances and I hit him with 2 tail whips, so I wouldn't be in the same predicament again. I go ahead and just spam tackle from this point on, and I fortunately get the dub. We move on after he gripes, we get money, and we move on to Route 22 to encounter our first Pokemon, Mankey. I catch Mankey, now without some trouble though. He was struggling a little bit, and he didn't want to get in that Pokeball. But I finally caught him, and I renamed her Big Guy. My second encounter was in the Veridian Forest, where I encountered a Weedle. What's a Pokemon I really didn't think I would have much to handle with. Like, I wouldn't use him a lot. Wouldn't name it the female Weedle, Benjamin, and I walked out. As you see, this is just a slide of me struggling in the Veridian Forest. Dell's on 1 health, and I'm thinking to myself, am I gonna lose Dell once again? I was gonna reset. Go ahead and switch him out because I didn't think the poison effect lasted, and I got a clutch antidote while he was on 1 health. As you can see, I'm clearly struggling in this Veridian Forest. Nobody told me it was gonna be compy like this. Go ahead, scratch, and we lose Big Guy off the rip. Off the rip, man. It was ridiculous. I go ahead and deposit him in my PC box, and I call it a day. We go ahead and leave the Poke Center and go for our next encounter, which is going to be Pidgey, our female Pidgey. It was great. I knew this encounter was going to be one for the ages, so I went ahead and caught him, healed him up, and was fighting this Rattata when Benjamin died. Now I'm just down on my last 2 Pokemon. Something I also do throughout this gameplay is in the beginning I was grinding for levels, and towards the end I realized I didn't want to put myself through that. So I went ahead and rare candied myself towards late game to make it easier and not have to sit here for so long to hit level caps. Level caps, the Fire Red Wikipedia told me, the Bulbapedia, whatever. I go ahead and challenge Brock, my first gym badge. And you know what I do to Brock? Since I chose Squirtle, it was going to be, real easy, real under wraps. Go ahead, just one-shot all his Pokemon because it's super effective. Taking its Ace Onyx down like no tomorrow. Got the Boulder badge and decided to move on. So another thing about these runs is all like rival battles and Giovanni battles, I will cut through them just for editing purposes. But every gym and every Elite Four member, I did not cut through. It is straight shot of me just defeating them. Here's me killing an Ekans, an evolving Squirtle, and a Wartortle. Next we go on for another encounter and get Spearow, another female Spearow. This game is just loving to give me females. Go to Mount Moon and get another encounter, Zubat. Name him Bat. I wanted to name him Batman, but it took too long to type, so I just named him Bat. Next we go throughout Mount Moon and defeat these Team Rocket trainers. I do skip a lot through this game because I honestly didn't think the game was so long. There is so much to do in this Fire Red game. You're able to get through a lot of this game without having to do a lot of the side quest stuff. I argued with this guy about a fossil stone, so I go ahead and get rid of his Grimer. And Wartortle is just having its way, man. Yeah, I think I choose the Helix fossil. Yep. I go in for another encounter and I get a Rattata. I didn't have to hit any supersonic or status move because one Pokeball was enough. I go ahead and get into my next rival battle where I absolutely just mopped the floor with this guy. I clearly wasn't expecting the battle though. This is only like my third time playing this game in actuality. I probably played this game when I was like way younger. And the Astonish was just really heaming this guy up, kept making him flinch. He tried to teleport out of there, but Dale got rid of Abra. And all he had was a silly Rattata left. After that, we go ahead and evolve our Pidgey into Staraptor or Staravia. Pidgeotto. I'm tripping. Go on to take on Misty and her water types. I thought this was going to be an easy fight for me, but I got hit with the Confused so fast. And Bat got hit with the Confused, and she just kept proccing. So I decided to take out Dell just to tank the damage and hopefully move on with this fight quicker than usual. This was a back and forth with Swift and Bite, while also her having like a full restore super potion. There we go. But I know my Bite was doing a lot of damage, so I was hoping for a flinch, but I didn't get one. Dell clutched up and lasted on 2 HP. I was pretty careless with this fight because I was just thinking it's going to be way easier. Go ahead and get rid of this Nugget Bridge one by one. And finally getting to the end of the bridge, a Team Rocket trainer asked me to join Team Rocket. I had to decline and whoop his ass. Next we go for our next encounter. We got Caterpie, a female Caterpie, just a lot of females on the team. But, you know, girl power, I guess. Girls rule the world, maybe. Catch Caterpie and name her Big P, because she keep it P. Next we go for another encounter, and we go for my favorite Pokemon of this run, Oddish. Caught him with ease. I was really hoping I did not kill it, but we came out of there alive. Named her Oddbit. And stored a flying type, I'm pretty sure. If I do that shit one more fucking time. If I do it one more fucking time, I swear. Now, after getting heamed up for about 2 minutes real time, I finally move on and catch this Meowth. Named her Purr. Big Purr. See, I'm struggling with that 4x speed. Next, we get this old rod, and we move on to the next city, and we catch the only Pokemon we could technically catch, which is Magikarp. After paralyzing Magikarp and catching her, we name her Katrina, and we move on to our next stop. Catch another Pokemon just to build up the PC, just in case anything would happen. Went ahead and paralyzed and caught an Ekans and named him Evan. Moving on to the Diglett Cave, we encounter a Diglett, which is a Pokemon I knew I wanted, and caught him with ease. We went ahead and named Diglett Lit, moved on to our next rival battle in the SS ship, and mopped the floor with this guy. It's nice because his team doesn't really change throughout. But this SS ship was really difficult just to get through. I went through every trainer pretty much just to get here. Big bam, almost out of there. But this Kadabra kept disabling my moves and I kept missing attacks. So it was looking very strange for me. But I finally got the tackle off and ended the battle. Next I go upstairs, help the captain throw up, and get the move cut. After that, we take on Lieutenant Surge and his electric types. My base Pokemon are pretty bad against this fight, so I'm glad I caught Meowth. He throws out this Pikachu, and I'm thinking about switching into Oddish. Go try to sleep powder him, but he wakes up in one turn. With the full restore, used it off the rip. But I kept using Bullet Seed, and I finally got rid of him after a good little minute. But he uses another super potion. Insane. But with my determination, I finally win. I knew I wanted to sleep powder this and switch back into Meowth for the damage. Raichu is an evolved mon. I go for many secret powders here, but eventually I do get greedy and go for a bite. He woke up and he finished Meowth off. I set Oddish back in because he used all of his restores and bullet seeded. I was very sad about this loss, but Oddish ended up evolving into Gloom. And we take the Thunder Badge and we move on. It's not 100%, so I was just thinking like... But we go for another encounter, we get our Voltorb. Great Pokemon to catch. They don't have an elect type, and it's a good typing to have throughout this game. I moved throughout the rock tunnel with no flash because I forgot to get it, and catch this Geodude. I name him Boo. And start facing trainers with Diglett so you can get some XP. He goes for this magnitude, lands 6, go for the 7, and I keep him in. Goes for the 5, which was pretty sad, but he lands a 6 and kills my Diglett. After healing up, I go ahead and I box Diglett. Short life, short-lived. Very sad. RP been lit, man. Go ahead, withdraw Geodude. Go on for my next encounter, and I get Growlithe. Pokemon I know I needed for my trio typing, grass, water, and fire. Get Growlithe and name him Bane. We tried to move on, but the guy wouldn't let us, so we make our way down to another city. After I get heamed up a little bit there. We go on to Celadon City, heal up our Pokemon, and take on Erica and her grass types. I knew Bane was going to be a big thing in this, but he is pretty underleveled. This is when I was grinding for levels instead of using rare candies. So I go ahead and switch Pidgeotto and Bane to finish the job. Since he used the potion, I was able to get 2 attacks off. Got rid of this Tangela with ease. Grew to level 29. And faced Vileplume. She paralyzed me, but I really didn't think it was going to do much. We got her there with our lives. And Pidgeottoing the whole gym pretty much. Move on for another encounter and we get Doduo. A great Pokemon to have in this run because of his typing. We move on to get our gold case. And we are just sitting here gambling at this point. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7 is what I'm looking at. Basically doing this so we can get the Dratini in the coin shop. There we go, we got our third. It's just a little compilation of me getting all these 7s and hitting jackpots so I can get all these coins. It's pretty easy when you have enough money. I think I had about like 20-30k, bought a whole bunch of 500 coin packs. Was able to get Dratini. Evolve Dratini into Dragonair. Evolve Pidgeotto into whatever the guy is. Evolve Wartortle into Bulbasaur. Evolve Taurus into Electrode. And went ahead and took on the Team Rocket Underground. I faced Giovanni here. And Bane was going to get out of there clutching up. We get the Silph Scope. We move on to get our free Eevee. Name him Bimo. We go on to fight the side gym. Getting rid of these mons one by one. Ultimately taking Hitmonlee and naming him Dame. We get our first encounter in the Pokemon Tower and get Haunter. Free this man from being captured by Team Rocket members. Get the Pokeflute and catch Snorlax. Not gonna lie, Snorlax did take a bit to catch. Oddbit did faint. But we got Snorlax in the process. Moved on to the next gym. This one took me a minute to get through, but the Ninja Master with the poison types, I knew it was going to be easy. Tried going for the water gun so I could get more damage off, but it did not work. Go ahead, switch Bane in, hoping that he could do a little something, but he was also poisoned. So what I just said, fuck it, and threw Bam in. he kept proccing the poison, and it was honestly getting frustrating. Uses a hyper potion, and I'm missing because of his minimizes. I get a fly off, and bam, faints. Hard loss for sure. I switch Goo in, thinking he might be able to do something. The Shadow Punch really hurt for a lot, but he keeps healing up throughout this fight. Try to use Dream Eater, and I just thinking to myself, this is just not working. All my mons are just getting poisoned, procced, and it's just not working. But I finally get him down with Goo. I switch out to Snorlax that I named Laxative. And I just start hitting body slams at this point. Even though he's paralyzed, he is doing great wonders for me. Lived on 2 HP before I switched him out. Weezing got paralyzed because he hit me, and I used Spark. We finally got our badge, our soul badge. Barely surviving because our Pokemon were poisoned, and I go and I box Bam up, sadly. Pokemon I really needed. I evolve Growlithe with a Firestone. I evolve Eevee with the Thunderstone. But at first, Eevee didn't know any electric moves, so she was just kind of sitting on the sideline. Take on another rival battle here in the Silph. Since Doduo made the cut, he went ahead and one-shot the Pidgeot. Proc the Gyarados. Giga Drain the Gyarados. Bit the Alakazam. Flame Wheel the Venusaur. Try attack the Growlithe. And that was the end of the rival battle. Next we move on and we heal up. And we go face Giovanni. I go ahead and try attack. One shot kill. I switch into Bulbasaur here so he could one shot the Rhyhorn. Try attack the Kangaskhan. But I get Mega Punch and switched out, so I double kick. Finish the Nidoqueen off with Dell. And I beat Giovanni. I move on to go to the actual gym leader. I knew Haunter was going to be my ace, so I throw him out first. I Shadow Punch the Kadabra. One shot. Shadow Punch to Mr. Mime, but he lives and side beams me, and I'm dead. RP Goo. Another Mon loss that was very important and valuable. We switch in Dale and we bite. He uses all his heals on this Mr. Mime. Bite this Venomoth. Keep Bulbasaur in for Alakazam. Throwing Snorlax for the final kill. But I'm just getting sidekicked out the bone. Got the Marsh badge and I left after destroying Sabrina. Gave this guy's gold teeth after exploring the safari. Fight some of the trainers. I forgot what the name of the cave. Go ahead and one-shot this Articuno for the experience. I wanted to catch it for the memes, but I didn't. Move on to the Pokemon Mansion. Get the secret key. and fight the 7th gym leader. With him and his fire types, I go ahead and use Blastoise a lot throughout this fight with the move Water Pulse. He just, just mopping this fight, man. And one more Water Pulse to get through. Got through it and moved on. The volcanic badge was mine, and I knew I had one more gym left. But Bill came up to me and basically kidnapped me and forced me to stay on 3 different islands. I went ahead and fought Moltres while I was there. Went on the 3rd island to complete the mission. Defeated all these trainers. Saved this little girl in the forest. I was finally able to take on the 8th and final badge. Giovanni one last time. Getting rid of all these Pokemon with ease using Silph. Easy sweep. Got the Earth badge, and it was time to move on to the Elite Four. Fighting Mr. A one last time. Back and forth wing attack with his Pidgeot. His Gyarados rain dances, but Snorlax gets rid of him with the Paralyze, and Jolteon comes in for the rest. Bulbasaur finishes off his Rhyhorn. Arcanine finishes off his Venusaur. Snorlax takes care of his Alakazam. Here we are, the Elite Four. I buy my full restores for in between the fights. Here I am on the first Elite Four member, Lorelei. I will now move on to the actual gameplay audio to let you guys hear what I was going through. There will be some background noise and stuff, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. Unfortunately, I'm not too enthusiastic throughout these fights. Maybe the last two, but I mean, these ones, I think I was just so locked in. Like, you couldn't really hear me talking much. Or I'm not even really talking much. So one of them full restores out the way. Yeah, I was getting heamed up by this Jinx. She's putting me to sleep pretty often, and she hit the attract. It's a bad combo, and I just kind of stick it throughout this whole battle between Dell and Jinx. She just kept proccing these fallen loves and sleep moves, but I finally get rid of Jinx. Moving to laxative to hopefully get the paralysis off with the body slam, and it is something I accomplish. She had a berry, but it didn't matter because I got rid of it. Next, I moved on to Bruno. Probably the easiest fight, the Elite Four. Then I switched out to Dragonite because of his flying type moves. Got rid of Hitmonchan. And you can hear my breathing pretty hard in these. I am super locked in. Throws out Hitmonlee. Throws an Onyx. I perform better in like 4 times speed for some reason. I'll move on to this Oldho. No, we should be able to get rid of these pretty easily. Golbat, we got some for that. Hey, 8 bars. Switching to Arbok. I don't really have anything for poison types. I could just send out Dell. Gengar, let's throw back in Snorlax. Holy moly. Wake up, Dell, wake up. Dell, wake up. Start off with Gyarados. Let's hope we get this Thunder off. Let's go. Dragonair, yep. Should take care of both of them, yep. I'll keep you in. Aerodactyl is next. 2-turn move. I would rather keep. Oh, since it's flying, let's throw out Beamo. Let's see what he could do. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I could take one more. Are you dead ass? Okay, he's confused right now. Fuck, man. Don't fuck me, please. Let's fucking go, man. Now we got one more fucking guy to fucking turn up on. With Arcanine. Let's fucking go, Gary. He did not start off. Now we're gonna have to fucking switch. We are out of PP. Okay, what can I do here? I'm so fucking happy that even hit. I'm out of PP. Of course, you fucking fool restorer. I could take one more. It's a fucking flying type, dumbass. I'm the fucking GOAT, man. Flinch. Flinch, come on. Give me one flinch. Come at me, boy! I am the fucking champion. There you go. My first ever nugget. Safe to say, guys, this challenge was pretty challenging at times. Thank you guys so much for sticking through. If you stayed the whole 40 minutes of the video, please like and subscribe, and there will be another one coming soon.